Yo, what is up? What's poppin'? You know it ain't no stopping. It is your boy, the International Sensei. Y'all know the rules. Keep it right, keep it tight, and above all, I need you to please talk to me nice. And we are back at it again. Welcome to all of my friends here on some more fighter topics. I have been OD with the fighter topics. I'm gonna try to squeeze some FGC topics in there as much as I can. I just need to think of them. My mind is mad random, so I will randomly think of a topic and I'll just hit record on the damn machine and I will start recording. So there is really no structure, it's just freestyle on whatever topic I decide to talk about for that week's episode. So today we're talking about just the concept of hitability and fighters always talking about percentages. And I'm going to get into the percentages thing later, but the hitability thing, it's something I understand, but it's a phenomenon that annoys the hell out of me. Like hearing the term, oh, someone's very hittable, oh, this guy he's hittable, this, that, and the third, and I think a lot of it comes from the fact that when you have fighters like a Israel Adesanya, you have fighters like an Anderson Silva, John Jones to a little bit lesser extent because he's not known for his like he can strike very well, but he's not a master striker. Like he's not a crafty striker. Like he'll throw like some creative things now and then, but he doesn't have the striking pedigree like an Anderson Silva and like an Israel Adesanya. But I've heard tons of fighters say that about guys that have beaten them and things like that. I don't know. It's weird to me. It's really weird to me. Um, Everyone is hittable. Since the history of time, since fighting was a thing, everyone is hittable. If you have the ability to hit, your ass has the ability to get hit. So it's the dumbest shit in the world to me when someone says that person is hittable. I don't get it. I don't know. I get it. I just don't like hearing it. I don't know. That's just my personal opinion. Again, I am not a professional fighter. But I've have extensive martial arts background, and I've always understood that everyone can get hit. I don't know. It just bothers me when people, especially people that lose to certain fighters, and in the ways that they've lost to certain fighters. Oh, this guy's hittable, that guy he's hittable, and you lost. Yeah, of course the guy's hittable. You punched him once or twice. Everyone's punched him. You can watch like Israel Adesanya. Derek Brunson said, oh, one of his main arguments of why he could, I think, beat him in a rematch was saying, oh, he's hittable, blah blah blah. Of course, Kelvin Gastelum hit him a whole lot of damn times. I mean, Robert Whittaker got one or two hits in there. Everyone is hittable. Floyd, the greatest defensive fighter in the history of boxing, he's hittable. Ali, one of the best footwork in the game, he got hit a couple times. He got dropped a couple times. Everyone gets hit. If you fight long enough, your ass is going to get tagged at least one good ass time. Okay, I've gotten cracked once in my career, and I'm like, okay, yeah, I can get hit. It happens to the best of us. So I don't know. I've never been a fan of that concept of just like someone saying, "Oh, he's hittable." Oh, yeah, he can get hit. Da 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 da. Everybody gets hit. That's how you win fights. It's the punches and the kicks, or the ground and pound, or whatever. Or even you're hitting someone in the technical sense. You're hitting someone with the submission because you're taking an appendage of theirs, their arm, the neck, the leg, whatever, and trying to break it. Everyone gets hit. You get hit with something. You get hit with jiu-jitsu. You get hit with boxing. You get hit with kickboxing. Whatever. Everyone can get hit. So that hitability thing is something that I wish I didn't hear as much as I do, because I hear it from fans, I hear it from fighters. I don't know, it's just annoying as hell to hear. Like it's just annoying. I don't know. That's just me. But hey, that's neither here nor there. On to the percentages thing. And again, it's a concept that I get. I'm just not a fan of hearing it as much as I hear it. There was like the thing with Gastelum talking about how he was like 40% in the Israel Adesanya fight. And I get that. I get it 100%. I mean, people get sick. Like, I've fought sick before. Other fighters, like, I know people that I've trained with have been sick going into fights. People, like, some of my training partners have gotten hurt in training, but they knew that they had to go after this opportunity or else they might not get it again. I had buddies that messed up their feet before going for, like, Taekwondo World Championships. Had a friend that messed his wrist up before going for karate championships. I messed up my knee before nationals one time. Like, so it happens. I've been sick. Oh my god. Like I've always been like a sick. Well, not anymore. But when I was younger, I was always like getting sick randomly. Like I was always getting sick, even though I was like a relatively healthy eater. So I stayed going into tournaments, like sick as hell, sipping tea, popping freaking what are those things? Popping like cough drops, like it was going out of style, like it was freaking candy and stuff. So I get it. I mean, I get he wasn't feeling his best. It just looks bad, especially in the Gastelum kinks. It looks bad because you lost the fight. One, Israel has won what his last. Like after you, he beat Whitaker, then he beat Romero, even though that fight wasn't the best. And now he's on to fight Costa. Your last fight, you lost to Darren Till. It just makes you look bad because you're like, okay, if I'm at 100, I would take Izzy out. But now you're taking out a guy that just came into the division after he lost to Woodley. It just is not. Oh no, he lost to Woodley and then he beat Wonderboy. I'm pretty sure I got the timeline right. Anyway, it just doesn't. It's just not a good look. Now on the flip side to that, it does look great. Like you look like a beast. Like in Usman's case is where I kind of like it. Because I feel like in Usman's case, I don't think he would have mentioned it if he had lost that fight. I honestly don't think he would have mentioned it if he had lost that fight. But he went into that fight, I think, with a double hernia and a broken foot. Or a fractured foot, not broken foot. But he had a fractured foot and he had a hernia in that fight. And I believe he had like a pulled groin or something else. So he was like legitimately on like freaking death's door. But he found a way and he willed himself to get that victory. And it was, to this day, one of the most dominant title fights I've ever seen. I mean, outside of like obviously like the Ronda Rousey, Amanda Nunes fight where she just got freaking boxed up for 45 seconds, or the Conor McGregor Jose Aldo, the dynamic one punch knockout heard around the world that kind of like elevated Conor to insurmountable heights, which is like a big part of the reason why his persona is so massive, because of moments like that. I don't know. I just don't get it. I mean, everybody who's ever fought is going to be going into some kind of competitive environment with some form of issue. Whether it's a nagging issue, it's like, oh, my hand, my toe, my shoulder. Like I think Woodley, he had multiple shoulder surgeries. He tore his shoulder one time during a fight. I don't know. It's just weird to me, but on the flip side, I can respect it, especially when you're able to win in those situations, and then you talk about that after, or even like a case with like a Kevin Lee or something like that, where you talked about that like right after. I could kind of understand that, but like months down the line, years down the line, it gets a little frustrating to hear, especially after you lose. And I like Gastelum. Like I loved that fight will probably be my favorite fight ever, as far as MMA is concerned, when it's all said and done. Just because like it was a war nonstop, but it was a technical war. I mean, you weren't seeing guys just dumping their head down and just throwing, hoping and praying. These guys were actually fighting. I mean, you had Kelvin coming out of his bag of tricks versus Israel Adesanya. You had Izzy coming out of his bag of tricks versus Kelvin Gastelum. You just had so much mental warfare going on in this physical bout. And so I loved it. And it kind of detracts away from the fight a little bit from a fan standpoint, because I'm like, oh, wow, well, he didn't beat him when he was 40%. When he's 100%, he's going to beat him. Oh, wait, but he can't beat this dude over here. So now he just got knocked down all the way to the bottom of the freaking list of fighters, and now I'm going to have to wait forever. And there's going to be a chance where it might have like the Victor Ortiz effect, or like the I wouldn't say Canelo, because Canelo still wins like titles, but the Victor Ortiz effect, where after he lost like that big fight, he was never really the same in overall competition. I don't want that to happen to Gastelum, but you never know. But my thing is, like, don't sour, or don't try to sweeten a loss. But I think you can do it to sweeten a victory. Because I mean, the Usman case, like, it just made him look like a badass, but it made Kelvin look bad for the simple fact that he lost his next fight. If he would have won his next fight, won another fight, Izzy would have fought Romero. That fight was, I mean, for most fans, that fight was bad. I enjoyed it for what it was, which was like kind of like a chess match of sorts. He beats Costa. Then next in line would probably be the run back, which would be a crazy event. That would be a crazy event, man. And I don't know. It just like it just makes you look worse, especially for the people that follow the sport heavy. And it's like, okay, so now you made that excuse. Now you lost the next fight, and I didn't even get. I need to go back and watch that fight, because I don't remember how it went. I don't remember if it was a knockout or a decision or what it was. I just know he lost that fight to Darren Till. and I don't know, it's just rough, man. It's a rough phenomenon. But again, you gotta respect all these guys that go in there. I mean, if someone says they were at a certain level, you gotta believe them because these guys, I mean, put their blood, sweat, and tears on the line. This is my personal opinion. I love all these guys. I respect all the people that go into the octagon and fight every single night because there's a lot of people that can't do it, a lot of people that won't do it. Because and honestly, they do not make enough money as it is. They still need to make a lot more from, especially the undercard guys. And the more you lose, the lower your stock goes, and the less you're going to be making. So that needs to be definitely something that I vouch for. I will vouch for, and will always vouch for. They need to get paid more. But I'm just not a big fan of saying I was this percent, that percent in certain cases, especially after a loss. But at the end of the day, man, much love to all the fighters. Cannot wait for the fight next. Was it May? The May card. I'm gonna post it. Definitely gonna post this the Friday this Friday coming up. So definitely gonna have a double whammy of episodes. The May card is about to be type lit. It's gonna be Ferguson versus Justin Gaethje. Matter of fact, let me look up the card quick fast before I end the video out. Sorry guys, like I said, this is mad freeform, so bear with me. Sorry, May 9th, not May 5th. What am I talking about? So the card. Hold on, May 9th, UFC card. Alright, so here we go. So we got Tony Ferguson versus Justin Gaethje. We got Cejudo the Triple C versus Dominic Cruz. We got Francis Ngannou versus... How the fuck do you say that name? Rustin Kowski or whatever, dude. Oh my god. Then we have Jeremy Stevens versus Calvin Cutter. We have Greg Hardy versus Yan de Castillo. Alright, so that's the main card. And then I think the prelims. Oh, we got Pettis versus Cerrone 2. We have Olenek versus Verdum. We have Carlos Esparza versus my boo, Michelle Waterson. I love Michelle Waterson, the karate hottie, one of the best to ever do it. And we got the boy Uriah Hall versus Ronaldo Souza. I like it. That's going to be a dope card, man. Really dope card. So make sure you tune in for that. Definitely going to be going for... I'll give you about a quick rundown of who I think would win. I'll go Hall, Waterson, Olenek, Pettis, Hardy, Stevens. Actually, no. I'll go Hardy, Cutter. Damn. Okay, so the heavyweight one is kind of hard. I'm gonna come back to that one. And I think Cejudo will take it because Dominic has been off for quite a while. And I think Justin Gaethje is going to pull off the upset. I think Tony Ferguson's a monster, but I feel like Justin Gaethje might pull off the upset. So that is my quick prediction for the prelim and main card. So make sure you guys watch that. I mean, the UFC is going to be in an interesting place. They're going to be on the private event, no fans allowed, but it's still going to be hype, man. It's still going to be like... It's almost going to be like the live tough show almost, but it's going to be dope, and I'm definitely going to be tuning in. But with that being said, I am the International Sensei. Please follow me on social media at Sensei_Global21 on Twitter, International_Sensei on the gram, SoundCloud, Spreaker, iTunes, and I'm getting on Spotify. It's International Sensei, the Enter the Dojo podcast, where I talk about all things fighting related, whether that is fighting games or combat sports. And with that being said, thank you guys for listening. Episodes every Friday morning on all of those platforms. With that being said, thank you once again. And we must now exit the dojo. Us.